I've actually said this thing times without numbers. I always preach it, I always talk about it to um expose or to enlighten most of these so-called celebrities. Stop bringing your relationship affairs, whatsoever drama you're going through in your relationship. Stop bringing it on social media. Stop granting interviews to talk about your relationships on social media to the level of giving a lot of details on whatsoever is going on, because the reality about it is that nobody cares, including me. Because at the end of the day, when you come up on social media to to have these conversations with all these presenters and all of that, what we end up doing is picking up one or two points, build a story around it to get our own likes, views, and ratings. Which at the end of the day, my review, my likes, my reviews or my opinion on your personal problem might not even help you. And you need to put your kids into consideration because the internet doesn't forget. You know, um, regarding Nino Lowo's case, the funniest part of the whole thing is this. The year he started, putting up videos of him and his wife, loving all up, doing some Titanic, Romeo and Juliet, BS yada yada. I remember I told my friend like I think this homeboy is having problem in his marriage, and he was like, no, I was like, no, this is not like normal. There's something fishy and all of that because apparently I've dated and I know when I am trying to patch something. I know when I'm trying to fix my F ups. And I told my homeboy like someone is trying to fix his F ups here. And there was a woman that came online that said, as cute as Nino Lowo is, the wife should know that there will be a lot of girls running around to have him. And madam, the reality is the woman is also beautiful. There are loads of guys that also wants to smash her, not just smash. Some literally wants to marry her. See, guys, let me make you understand something. Where you are in a relationship with someone and you have the upper hand, I'll advise you to be smart with the upper hand that you've got, because the best thing you can do for a woman, I'm going to tell you today, the best thing you can do for a woman that is going to make her feel like you are irreplaceable is to be nice to her. Not showering her gift, not doing all those things, not knowing how to use your dick on all of that, not being a good listener, not being caring. Be nice to her. Niceness is something that is scarce to have in a relationship. I'll tell you how to be nice to a woman is when you put her first in everything that you do. When you're that type that she notices that you just want her to be fine, she might not express that gratitude towards you. But there is this way low key, she's scared to lose you. See, there are some characters or some behaviors that we exhibit towards our women, and before she tells us it is over, it's been over and we don't know. So I'm going to tell you some things you need to understand about women. And most men, most married men don't understand this thing. When you are in a marriage with a woman that you hardly give attention and you do all those things, and the only thing you do is take care of her needs, you help her to change her priorities. And she made herself the priority and the kids. And that is when she becomes more focused on her goals, on what she wants for herself and the kids. She might not cheat in the midst of all this, but she's just too focused on her business. She's just too focused in fixing the house. You come, she fix the plate for you. You talk normal, but you're not really in her life anymore. She has kicked you out of her life, but you don't know. Now you've been kicked out of her life. The only reason why you don't know is simply because you come back home, she's there, she gist with you, she talks about the neighbors, what has happened. But there are some personal things she don't tell you about anymore, and you're not observing. And that is how she's feeling. Because she's been telling you how she's been feeling for long. You're paying attention, but you're not fixing it. You're not helping her to fix how she's feeling. You're not being nice enough to put yourself in her shoes. Then, she started getting used to you not being nice to her, you not talking to her about herself, review on the marriage status of things. Then she start pulling back, and you will notice before you have a family meeting, you send her to the family, you send her to represent you. All of a sudden, she start giving excuses on following you to family events, on following you to family meetings, on following you. She start pulling back a little. She doesn't call Boragbola on like she used to call her anymore. She doesn't welcome the family's relative and your relatives like she used to welcome them like that, having this big weekend for them. Because she's pulling back gradually. When she started pulling back, she started making herself the priority. And then you notice something, she starts spending more time with her family. She started going to her family's place because she's already talking to her family about the possibilities of what might happen. And a good mother would never encourage her daughter to stay in a marriage or a relationship where a man is not being nice to her. Because when you're nice to a woman, you help her work on her mental health. Most of you guys are foolish to think women are not smart. Their inability not to be smart cost us damage as a guy, because at the end of the day, we end up being the one going through emotional trauma. Because their stupid mistakes and decisions they make always ends up affecting us. Look at Steve Harvey. Most of you are coming out to criticize the wife. But if you actually know the story of Steve Harvey, you will know that he's getting what he deserves, because this is a man that left the wife for a